Hello, this is Joseph Quijano, Certified Financial Planner.
And I'm Jordan Quijano. We want to welcome you back to our Fireside Chats, episode 3. And this is a great topic. We're talking about 3 biggest financial mistakes that you can make in today's economy. And this is what prevents anyone from building wealth.
And you know something, Jordan? I can tell you something right now that I was thinking about this topic, and I was thinking about when I joined the Air Force way back in 1968, and I saw soldiers from every single age category, from young to old, and I saw financial mistakes that they were making in order to get ahead financially. And the 3 of them, you know, those are the 3, what I consider to be the biggest 3 financial mistakes that people are making today, and that were making back in 1968.
It still
Nothing
hasn't
has changed.
Right.
Nothing has changed. And one of them is actually financial procrastination. You know, this is when people actually procrastinate. And you know, Jordan, I saw young soldiers, you know, that were 18 or 19 years old, that they thought, you know what, I don't have to worry about retirement. You know, 65 years of age seems so far away.
It's true.
That, you know what, I just don't have to worry about it. Then I also met people in their middle ages who hadn't achieved anything because they waited too long. And then I saw people that were ready to retire from the military in actually their 40s, or actually 45, actually.
Closer to retirement.
That actually, all they had was a Air Force retirement.
The pension,
which is like $2,800 a month. Okay, now, and they told me, you know, now that they wish they would have done something sooner. So one of the biggest financial mistakes that I feel people do today is that they procrastinate. Don't you agree?
You're right. I mean, this is a common issue that doesn't matter what era we're talking about. I mean, procrastination is always going to be human nature, to take the least resistant path. And when it comes to financial planning, this is a huge mistake, because you'd be shocked on just waiting 10 years from maybe 18 to 28 or 28 to 38. That gap of time can change your retirement by hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars, because you don't have that compound interest working for you for 40 years, and you only have it for 20 or maybe 15. So when you look at the math, it just makes sense. You should start as early as possible, even if it's only a couple $100s a month. And when you get to making more wealth, you add on to it. And just the factor of time, this is the key that is irreplaceable in any financial plan. Nobody can take time and bring it backwards. So what you have to do is put more money to help build for that time. But I tell you right now, if you have time on your side, just like myself, I'm 32 years old, take advantage of it, because you're never going to get that back for retirement planning.
You know, there's only 2 ways to make money.
That's
right. Either having your money work for you, or you having to work for your money.
It's that simple.
And if you procrastinate and you lose time to get ahead financially, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get ahead. And this is what we're talking about. People are losing time, and they're making their money now work for them.
Well, it's hard to make money work for you in today's economy. I mean, that's the problem we're talking about. You can't put it at the banks. You're earning 0 interest at the banks. You don't want to risk it at just the market, because then it's not liquid and you're having too much risk. So what are we to do? I mean, this is the economy we're in right now, is we're faced with putting money and losing value because of inflation running close to 10%. And yet we're not getting 10% at the banks.
We are really on a very different financial storm that we have ever been into before.
It's true.
And you know, the second financial mistake that people are making in today's economy is actually living beyond their means. And that's what I saw while I was in the Air Force. While I was in the Air Force, I saw young airmen that were not making that much money. They were not saving any money,
right?
Yet they were driving a late model automobile.
Newer vehicles, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then they got used to that. So
Yep.
I say it this way, that a luxury once, becomes,
Once enjoyed,
becomes a necessity.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what I saw. I saw young people living beyond their dreams, not saving anything for the future.
That's right.
And that to me means economic disaster. And people today, I can't believe it, but people today are doing the same thing that they did back in 1968. They're
right.
living beyond their means.
That's right.
And that's the big mistake people can make financially in today's economy.
It's true. Yes, we should enjoy life. We should have the trips, the vacation, the valuable, just enjoyment. But when we spend too much and spend all of our paycheck on it, that's a problem. I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. A lot of us have gotten a raise over our lifetime. When you increase your income, the first thought that comes in place is, now I have more money to spend. And the goal would be to probably start putting some more of that money away towards saving, more towards retirement. But I promise you, 9 out of 10 times when I meet with clients, they're living paycheck to paycheck, even if they just got a raise, because there's a way to spend that money and they find it very quickly. Now, put it in reverse. How many of us have got a pay cut or lost a job? What happens? We survive, we're able to get by, and we start to ask ourselves, what were we doing with all that extra money? We're living off a third of our paycheck and we're still living comfortably, but all of a sudden it clicks, the light bulb goes on, and it points out living beyond our means truly is a detriment to our retirement. It will drain anybody's account quickly.
You don't have to have the cash to buy things. You can just finance them.
Charge it on the card.
Right, and I was talking to somebody today, this very moment, that was totally, heavily in debt with credit cards, ranging all the way from 22%, get this, down to 15%.
It's common, yeah.
All of their income was actually going to pay finance charges.
That's right.
They weren't putting anything aside for the future. And that's what I saw back in 1968 when I was in the Air Force. Young people living beyond their means and financing their purchases.
Well, and you said it right there. And for anybody who has a credit card, I mean, you understand if you're paying 20%, 25%, you got to ask yourself, are your investments making that? Are you making 25% return on your 401k, on your brokerage account? No, most people aren't. And that's what I talk about with my clients. You're better off paying your debt off, getting a fresh slate, and then going to start invest heavy or start making more money elsewhere. Because if you have headwinds going against you of 20%, you're never going to get ahead. You're always going to be just giving your money to the bank, even if you make 5 or 10% on your investment. The other side to this is when you look at our issue, one of the problems we're facing in this economy, and I should just say just in our country, not even just economy, in our country, is you either are saving money as a saver and putting it in the bank and paying cash because you don't like to finance, or you're a spender where you're spending money, just like we're talking about, you're putting it on credit cards, putting it on debts, never building money because you're always underneath the credit card, you're always just trying to pay it off, and then you get into another debt. So when you look at these two equations, and I want to show a diagram here on the screen, when you look at the screen here, you're going to see there's a $0 line where it's the baseline. You have above the savers and below the spender. Well, look at the diagram here. As a saver, you might take 2, 3, 4 years saving your money, and it's going to go up, up, up. But then all of a sudden, a purchase comes up and you spend that money. What happens? That account goes down. You drop it. And this is a problem. So the saver gets uncomfortable. You start saving again, build that account back up again, and then another purchase comes up. You know what? You need a new vehicle, you need new tires, you have a child going to college, and it goes down again. You always see this up and down motion, what economists call the Great American Roller Coaster, where your account is never consistently growing. There's always another expense. Well, this is a huge issue because for anybody who's saving money, you feel this problem. You'd rather pay cash instead of finance and put it on a debt. And this could hurt you because you're losing not only your money when you give that money away, but you're losing what's called the lost opportunity cost. Even if you're making 1% at the bank, if you would have just kept that money in the account, earning interest for the rest of your life, that is valuable. So if you give that money away, well, guess what? You lost the money and its earning potential. And the last piece to that is taxation. You also have taxes coming and dripping right out of this account, a 1099 INT. So going back to the diagram, look at the $0 line. Underneath it, we have the debtor now, or the spender, where you borrow money, maybe take 2 or 3, 4 years to pay it off, just get right back to zero and borrow money again and do it over and over in life because they're always underneath, their head underneath water, always owing somebody. You look at both equations, they look identical. The only difference is it's inverted. This is the issue we are facing in today. We're either a spender or a saver, and in both outcomes, we're losing money. And so how do we get ahead?
So, let me ask you one question. What do you want to be? Do you want to be a saver or do you want to be a sender? Do you want to save money for retirement or do you want to send all your money to creditors now?
You want to be a wealth accumulator.
Yeah, you got to be a wealth accumulator. And that's exactly what we're teaching people. Our clients become wealth accumulators and they're using a very important piece called other people's money.
OPM.
OPM.
That's the rule of the debt, right? Debtors is anybody when you borrow money, it's the principle. You don't use your money. OPM, use other people's money. And this is what the wealthy have been preaching forever. Now, as a saver, the other rule that the wealthy preach is what? Paying yourself first.
That is one of the biggest rules, that the wealthy have done for years. You got to pay yourselves first. So I don't care what you're making.
Yeah.
If you make X number of dollars, if you take 10%, pay it to yourselves. Because see, right now, we go to work every single day.
Right.
We get paid every single week or 2 weeks. And what do we do with that money? We put that on a checking account and we start writing checks to who? Creditors.
Everybody. Yeah.
And we forget to pay who?
The most important person, yourself, the one that worked for it.
That's what I call economic slavery.
That's right. So if we could just take these two rules, paying yourself first and OPM, using other people's money, that is all it takes to get ahead financially and to become a wealth accumulator. And if we can help apply these rules, in addition to getting past living within your means, not letting your money go to what I call keeping up with the Jones, trying to get the new car, the new TV. And if we could keep this money just away from these pitfalls, that is how we can get ahead financially. And the biggest part is do not procrastinate. If you procrastinate, even today, hearing this message right now in this video, you're making your money devalue and lose, and your retirement is getting pushed out further and further. So every second you wait is just another year or two that you're pushing out for retirement.
Now, if you want to take action and let us help you, let us guide you, let us take you by the hand and guide you, the Become the Banker strategy is made for you. So give us a call at 303-779-6600. And before we leave, Jordan, I would like to say hello to one of our clients. Judy and Gary Nix. They were supposed to be here today, but they unfortunately could not make it. Right. But hi, Judy. We want to say hi to you, okay?
That's right. We'll see you on the next one. But again, call us or visit the website below. That's mymoneymyway.com. And just get ready to get your foot in the right direction and start building your wealth. Now, thank you for tuning in. Give us a like, a thumbs up, a comment, subscribe, and tune in to the next video because we tend to put one out every 2 weeks to get you ahead financially. I'm Jordan Quijano.
And I'm Joseph Quijano. Thank you for watching.